Thank you, Dean Kendra Sharp, Provost Jim Glacier, and President Dr. Julie Sullivan, and all the members here of the distinguished Santa Clara University staff. I am so honored to return back to this prestigious university, and it brings back a flood of nostalgic memories. I know 39 years ago sounds like a lot to you guys. Most of you weren't born then. I pursued my graduate degree in engineering management. Santa Clara University was actually a commuter school. I used to park my car on El Camino Real Road. And I couldn't afford this education, so I made my employers pay for it. And I worked full-time, taking 4 years for a degree that should be 2, completing 2 classes, 1 quarter at a time. To graduate in the heart of Silicon Valley is a symbol of great opportunity as the industry beckons you to make a difference. As you all seek to find your next step, remember that journey is going to be a series of experiments like it's been for me. And you're always learning, you're always iterating, and forever contributing. My journey began with the need that I needed to pursue that graduate degree while I was still working as an engineer. At first, I went the normal route, which was to take my GMAT classes and pursue a classic MBA. And this was considered the typical way of going to learn more about business. But after a few boring finance classes, sorry for you finance majors out there, I abandoned my MBA goal in favor of a joint engineering and management program that was uniquely offered by Santa Clara University. You know, these days we speak about STEM and interdisciplinary and academics, but Santa Clara University was actually a very early pioneer of that. This great institution has shaped you and me and allowed me to apply my education to the real world. It has paved my path, my career, and who I am for the last 4 decades. And so as you step into the world, remember that your outcome is created by lifelong pursuits and perseverance. And today I want to share with you my 3 guiding principles, coincidentally tied to the Santa Clara University principles and values of competence, conscience, and compassion. When you talk about competence, it's about pursuing your unique gift and making the maximum use of your special attributes. It's about believing in your mission and doing something you're completely competent at and excellent at, not merely mediocre or average. As a young immigrant, I was a quite boring nerd. I chose these early bird classes, even though I'm not a morning person, that started at 7 in the morning. After which I would rush to work and then study on weekends and juggle my work and part-time education. It wasn't easy, but I pursued and cemented my field that I later followed of networking. Some people discover their competence early and some late, at different stages of their life. The late Steve Jobs of Apple created a lifelong consumerization activity with iPhones, iWatch, iPod, Mac, you know them all. You use them all. The late Gordon Moore of Intel created what's now famously known as the Moore's Law in Silicon Valley. Both icons found their passions early, and I was fortunate to find it early too, while the internet was still in its infancy. But Silicon Valley is filled with entrepreneurs who dream big ideas. And I want to tell each and every one of you that vision needs the competence to endure and execute the idea from each one of you. Every single one of you can find what you're exceptional at and build upon it. And when you find it, trust me, you will feel the type of incredible high and exhilaration and a wild sense of achievement. My next advice to you is adhering to your conscience and creating your own turning points. Have you ever looked back in life and recalled some of the key decisions you made that became life changers, even game changers? I had an ominous start to my career where I was laid off from my very first job. Suddenly I was out and felt personally humiliated and targeted, even though companies go through that and it's a normal cost-cutting exercise. But sometimes setbacks can create comebacks, and they can turn out to be that blessing in disguise. And so I embarked into another company where I not only got a raise, but I discovered this new field of networking. And I credit the Santa Clara University curriculum, where the heaviness of losing my job was now replaced with the lightness of a new, rejuvenating role. Incidentally, I nearly missed my final exam for my graduation. It was a foggy morning, and I was driving at 6:30 in the morning, all bleary-eyed. And suddenly, instead of being on the road, I ran into a fire hydrant. Like you see in the movies, suddenly there was a fountain, a huge fountain of water, flooding all the streets. After much delays and obviously a violation ticket for damaging city property, I reached the classroom at the end of my final exam, and my professor looked very puzzled that I'd showed up so fashionably late for an exam at 7 a.m. at 9 a.m. He was impressed by my excuse, which was not the typical "my dog ate my homework" one. And mercifully, he allowed me to take the exam even though I was late. So I'm here to speak to you because of that kind professor. Each of us gets shaped by our experiences and our lives at crucial junctions. Trust your conscience, create your own magic, and this can be incredibly life-altering in profound ways. My final message to you is human compassion. My family, my mentors, my friends, just like yours, have had a heavy hand in shaping my life. The power of you, plus a great team around you, is exponential. They can help you. They can compliment you. They can cheer you. They can advise you. They can obliterate your doubts, your weaknesses, and complement it with their strengths. When I was pursuing my graduate degree, I met and married the love of my life, my husband, Vijay, who encouraged me to pursue this hybrid path of engineering and management, and continues to be my pillar of support. Like many Silicon Valley tech entrepreneurs, I joined Cisco Systems through an acquisition which became Cisco's most successful acquisition, elevating it to a dominant status. Meanwhile, the Ullal family expanded to 2 daughters who, incidentally, got real doctorate degrees as opposed to the honorary one I have here today. And I am deeply impressed by their academic and personal compassionate values. More recently, I have grandchildren who keep us on our toes, all the fun without the responsibility, as they say. But sometimes relationships also bring sadness. I lost my only sibling and dear sister to cancer. Susie was too young to die at 46, but she deeply connected with each person and even connected with strangers. We couldn't save her, but her compassion lives on forever. But compassion doesn't just mean being nice. I'm reminded of a Dr. Seuss quote, "Be who you are, say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind." Today, I'm so proud to be leading Arista Networks for the last 17 years. I left the comfort of a high-powered executive role to join a small startup with 0 revenue. And I was drawn to it because of the compassionate and wonderful team. The success can be, just like Santa Clara University, attributed to the sum of the team rather than each individual. Arista has become an S&P 500, $100 billion market cap company in less than 10 years from going public. But I'm sure you'd agree that Santa Clara University has transformed and established itself as the premier university in the Silicon Valley. Class of 2025, I stand in front of you admiring you and celebrating your achievements in this beautiful campus, in the backdrop of these breathtaking mountains, the sprawling stadium, the mission churches, and convenient pathways. As we celebrate the revival and rebirth of Silicon Valley, which has changed from fruit orchards to a global hub of generative and agentic AI, we need more students. We need more people to advance all of these. We are at the cusp of an AI revolution. It can alter the connections between human, mind, and machine. So I'd like you all to stand up now, graduates of 2025, and join me in celebrating that as you are going through these ebbs and flows, and as you transition from the university environment to the real universe, please uphold these 3 C's and mottos. And let us add a 4th C, which is give back to your community. Always hold the university reputation and give back. Keep iterating and discovering your North Star and purpose. Unleash your powerful constellation and connections as you undertake your missions. And may you leave that indelible mark and become the leaders of tomorrow, just like so many Broncos and alums have done. Today, we celebrate each one of you not only because you worked hard and earned your degree, but because you've now received a ticket to change the world in extraordinary ways. Congratulations, class of 2025. You make us all very proud.